Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to, what month is it? February, faves and fails. It's been an interesting month, I feel like. I've got even less products in front of me than I usually feel like I have, but there's been some real highs and some lows. I was going to try and be kind, but there were some lows, okay? Can't lie to you. So without further ado, let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the Farmacy Makeup Melt Away Balm. Is that what it's called? Yes, the Makeup Melt Away Cleansing Balm. I missed out a word, okay? Don't sue me. So as you might have guessed it from the name, this is a cleansing balm. Yes, mine has like... It's disgusting, I understand you. But it's got a little spatula in here and yeah, I just scoop this out and smother it on the face and then massage into the skin to take off my makeup. This is like my favourite cleansing balm I've ever tried, the best one I've ever tried. I like it for lots of reasons better than a lot of the others I've tried. One, the consistency, the texture of this, it's thinner, it's not thick, it doesn't go on very heavily. As I kind of work it into the skin, it just is very, very thin and it just feels like a regular cleanser. Some balms, I feel like they take a bit of work to melt. They're like too hard and too firm. This one really does melt straight into the skin and you're dealing with like a nice thin consistency that's like just a regular cleanser. It gets everything off. All my mascara, I use a lot of mascara, okay? If you hadn't noticed, a lot of mascara. This gets it all off, no problems. The other thing I like about this over a lot of the others that I've tried is that there's no like oily feeling and oily residue to it. When I like slosh the face when I'm finished and this has got everything like melted and I give myself a swoosh of water, you know what I'm saying, you know what a swoosh means, it's just everything just comes off. Whereas I feel some cleansing balms, it's like oily and you have to kind of work then to get the balm off your skin as well as the makeup. This is like everything is straight off, slides straight off like a dream. Smells fresh and light and not overpowering. I just love it and it is my absolute favourite ever. This was gifted to me, full disclosure, but doesn't make me love it any more or less. I just think it's a great product. Another product I was gifted this month is the SuperGoop Glow Screens. This is their SPF and this is a glowy version. They also sent over like I don't think it's mattifying, I just think it's a natural finish, like a regular sunscreen. This one is designed to be like glowy. Oh, I am in love with this. I will show you a picture of me wearing just this on my skin, nothing else. It just gives such a gorgeous, healthy glow and luminosity to the skin. This is the one that I definitely think I will use in summer when I'm going makeup free, because it just gives you that extra bonus. It's got the high SPF in there, but it's also the extra bonus of that lovely glow to the skin that I prefer it over the other one. But I think the other one will probably be better under makeup and help makeup wear better because this is very luminous and shiny. So that's something to think about. But for no makeup days, this just makes my skin look beautiful and glowy and fresh and healthy. So I have been loving that one so far. So this month I picked up the Fragrance de Bois New Releases Discovery Set. So this has all of their newest fragrances. I've never tried a perfume from Fragrance de Bois. It's been one that has been on my list for a long time, but I've just never got around to purchasing any of the fragrances. And because it is one that is not, available very easily here in the UK to kind of get samples and to try fragrances before you buy, this is a perfect set. It's just brilliant. It's got all of their sort of most famous, well-known and their newest releases in here. So the two that I wanted to try was Cavort and Secret Tryst. These were that released like a Valentine's Day launch. These were the two I was most interested in. Secret Tryst was the one that I suspected I was going to love the most and that I would purchase based on this set. But it also had the Minuit et Demi, which is the collab that the brand did with Demi Rawlings, who is a YouTuber, a fragrance YouTuber. And it also has Solstice. What else is in here? PM. It's very hard to see the names of this. And then I got two samples, which I've also put in here, but they weren't in the set. There's also London Spice is the other one. So yeah, you get the 6. This is what comes in here. And then I put these extra 2 that were just like free samples with my order. So yeah, I've been trying all of these. My absolute favorite, surprisingly, was Cavort. So that's one of the two that were released for Valentine's Day. Oh, it's so beautiful. I was actually quite surprised by Minuit et Demi because I just pictured that completely different to how it smells. It really reminds me of Flower Bomb. Actually, like that was one of my favorite fragrances, like when I was in my 20s. Flower Bomb was like it for me, and it kind of reminds me of Flower Bomb. I was expecting it to be far more unisex and far more masculine and maybe more tobacco-y, but it's not at all. It's much more of a, I would say, like a floral. So that was really surprising to me, but just a bonus to get to smell that one. But yeah, Cavort is definitely a beautiful, unique, different fragrance for me. I also love Secret Tryst. I mean, I knew I would, but the surprise for me was Cavort because I just didn't, reading the notes, it didn't really sound like it was my typical love of a fragrance. But this is why these little sets are so good, because things surprise you, you know, with fragrance. And both Cavort and Secret Tryst had amazing performance, as you would expect. I'd say like a moderate sillage, but really long wearing. Smell them on all day and the next day on clothing, lasting, you know, several days. Really, really nice introduction to the brand. And yeah, really beautiful fragrances. Next up, let's talk about the Sydney Grace Be Mine palette. This is obviously very Valentine's-y, but with a difference, a brand who realizes not everybody wants reds and pinks only for Valentine's Day. Brand new information. I love that they did something that is obviously Valentine's-y, like it's got the XOs on there, it's called Be Mine. All of the names of the shades are like sort of cutesy, you know, romantic names. Obviously it is a Valentine's release. But, you know, the packaging is not like pink and roses and flowers, and the inside, yes, they've kept a little bit of a nod to a more typical Valentine's like color story with the pinks, but there's grungy shades in here, there's greens. I love that it's actually something not like every single other Valentine's release. It's not just a pink palette for Valentine's, it's not just reds and pinks for Valentine's. They've done something different even with the packaging and the color story as well. I think it's lovely to see, very refreshing to see for a lot of people who are not just wearing pinks because it's Valentine's Day. I love that. Really, as usual with Sydney Grace shadows, no surprises. This is a beautiful, nice, sturdy packaging, huge big mirror, lovely color story. I haven't used every shade in here yet, but I have used the whole of the top row and all of the green. So I've used most of the bottom row as well as the top row. I haven't touched the pinks and purples yet, which I do need to, but so far, beautiful. I wore the greens in a video and posted a look on Instagram wearing the greens. I mean, as always, just beautiful, very easy to blend mattes. The shimmers are exactly what you expect and always get from Sydney Grace. And I think the combination, so these were the three greens, but it was also a nice bronzy shade in here. But there's nothing on there. What's she doing? These are the fingers that have swatches. These three shadows, that's the perfect smoky look for me. Just absolutely gorgeous. Look at the shine. You simply cannot go wrong with Sydney Grace shadows. They're never going to be a dud. They're never going to let you down. They perform beautifully. Very little kick up in these shadows. Mattes, like I said, blend beautifully. Shimmers give you all the shimmer and shine that you want with minimal fallout. I mean, it's Sydney Grace, what did you expect? Next, let's talk about this little blush that I was going to say I picked up, but this was a birthday present from my mum. She watched my video, so we didn't have to worry about it. This was on, I think it was in a Will I Buy It that I spoke about this. This is the Laura Mercier. So this was for the Lunar New Year that they had this special packaging of one of their existing blushes, which was Ginger. So it's a blush that I didn't own, but I have wanted to pick up and add to my collection. I think I've got almost every shade of Laura Mercier blushes now. I just think it's the best of the best formulas. And why not have this lovely packaging at the same time? So it came out around the time of my birthday. I put it on my list and my mum delivered as always. And I was very excited. I didn't want it just for the tiger on the front. He's almost already gone. But I did quite like this red packaging, and it's much nicer than I thought. It's actually sparkly. I don't know if you can see. The reflection is probably going to be a bit much for you to see, but there's little sparkles on the front. He's definitely seen better days. He's almost gone away now. This is why I say don't buy like products just because they've got a nice picture on the product or a nice embossing on the product, because it will be gone very quickly. Hard to see the blush. It is very, very subtle. It's the most soft, subtle sort of peachy nude, I would say. It is one of the matte finishes of the blush. These blushes come in mattes and they also have a shimmer finish. This is one of the mattes. It's just like the easiest going everyday whack it on blush. It's never going to be too much. It's very, very quiet. It's soft. It's flattering and it's beautiful. Straight in my top drawer. One of my favorites. And I love this, like the cute packaging, because I now know exactly which one this is. If I want to go through my blushes, I know this is Ginger because of the red packaging, and it's a lovely shade. Very, very blush phobe appropriate. Like, you couldn't have a safer blush for like a light to medium skin tone, fair to medium skin tone. If you want something really soft and subtle and easy and not scary, that's your best bet. Sorry about that, we're getting a little bright. We're getting brighter and brighter by the moment. Next, another new lip formula. Actually, not a new lip formula. I've lied to you. I can only apologise. But new shades of an existing lip formula. And this is the Charlotte Tilbury. What are these called? Whoa. The Limitless Lucky Lips. So Charlotte Tilbury brought out some new shades of one of my favourite matte lipstick formulas, and it was exactly what we wanted and needed. 2 different nudes. There were other shades, but I wasn't interested in those. I have been desperately hoping she was going to bring out some nudes in this formula, because I think it's just perfect for like dinners and nights out where you want to wear a matte lipstick that's not going to disappear off your lips or end up all over your face if you're eating and drinking, but is the previous release was all very red and orange, and I needed nudes and she did not disappoint. This is Spice Bloom, and then we have Velvet Nude, just exactly what I needed. A lighter, more easygoing nude, and then a richer, more kind of deep, rich, warmer nude. I covered these lip swatches of all the lipsticks I'm going to talk about today in my lip swatch new formula video if you want to see them on the lips, but I love both of these shades. They're so flattering for a matte formula. I find them very comfortable. They're very long wearing. We'll go through a meal and drinks and everything like that without getting everywhere and without fading a lot, but I think they're beautiful shades. Very good nudes for me and my skin tone, both of them. I can get away with Velvet Nude without a liner, but with a fair liner from Lisa Eldridge, it is chef's kiss, let me tell you. My stomach is growling. Next up, the liquid lipstick that I picked up from Huda Beauty's new reformulated and extra shades line of her liquid lipsticks. The shade Icon is the one that I went for. This is a gorgeous shade. I wish she would bring this out in like her other formulas, because this colour is everything, and I just don't have anything like it. It's the perfect like softer kind of red almost. It's like a bit of a red, a bit of a berry tone. It's just so flattering and beautiful. I love this shade. I find it very unique to my collection, but you guys know I'm not a huge liquid lip fan. However, I did wear this on my birthday, out for dinner, drinks, cocktails, desserts, the whole shebang, and it did incredibly well. At the end of all of that, there was slight wear in the center, in the middle of my mouth, in the middle of my lips. Other than that, no crumbling, no flaking, no nothing at all. No transfer whatsoever on like cups or glasses or anything like that. It is amazing, a very good formula. It is still more drying than, say, the Charlotte Tilbury Limitless Lucky Lips, because it is a dry down liquid matte. So for that reason, you might not like it if those aren't your jam, but in the realm of liquid lipsticks that dry down, this is right up there. It's a very nice formula, and this shade in particular is gorgeous. Next up, let's talk about the YSL Candy Glaze lipsticks. I love these so much. In particular, the number 4. I'm sorry I can't tell you the shade names, because on the bullet it only says the numbers, which I know is really annoying, but I think the numbers and names are on the YSL website if you have a name and you don't know which number it is, that's a good place to check. This is shade 4. This is the nude that I chose, and at the moment is my absolute favorite of the bunch. It's just the nicest, glossiest, shiniest nude lip. Perfect. I love it. I love that I don't have to do a gloss. It's like, it looks like a lipstick and a gloss. It's got great opacity. It feels really beautiful, rich, creamy, thick, but not, that sounds bad. Thick sounds bad, but it is like a thicker, more opaque. It's not like a balm, a tinty balm in color type of product. It is a thick cream lipstick, and but it's so shiny and beautiful. It's got full opaque color. It looks like a lipstick with a gloss on top, which is exactly what I love. I just don't always have the patience for like layering. This gives me layering in one. I love this so much. I've already ordered an extra shade to try because I love it so much. But I will say, I think the oranges and the reds in the collection all look very, very similar. I definitely wish there were more there was more differentiation between those oranges and those reds, because I've got 3 or 4 now and they all look very, very similar when they're on the lips. The nude shade, this is my favorite at the moment. I think in summer I'm likely to reach more so for the oranges that I picked up and the peachy shades that I picked up, but I have been loving this. Again, with Lisa Eldridge Affair liner, it's stunning. It is slightly tricky and messy because it is a round bullet, which I find it's hard. I prefer a little point to get round the Cupid's bow and to give me a crisper line, so it can be a bit messy, hence why I like to use a liner. But the formula is stunning. I love how this looks on the lips. It's just like exactly what I like from lipstick. Juicy, glossy, shiny, but fully opaque on the lips coverage. Very, very comfortable, very nice to wear. They're not going to be like super long wearing, and they will transfer because they're a shiny, glossy finish. So complete other end of the spectrum from the mattes that we've spoken about, but they're going to be like living their best life on my lips throughout the summer months. Another lip formula I spoke about in my trying new lipstick, my lip swatch video that I did, was the Sisley. Now these are the Phyto Rouge Shine. These are more so like a balm with colour. They've got a decent amount of colour, definitely not as opaque as the YSL Candy Glazes, definitely a bit more sheer. You can see there, you can build them up for sure and get sort of a medium opacity, but they are much thinner, much more balm-like than the YSL. If you want to see all of these on my lips, then watch my lip swatch video. It has all of them on my lips. I haven't been wearing these very much. I've definitely been favouring the Candy Glazes. I think these types of formulas for me come, like their time to shine is spring and summer, when I'm sure I'll reach for these more. The packaging is stunning. I love this shade. This is number 12. This is Sheer Cocoa. You see that? You can put the number in the name on the bullet and help everybody out. But they smell gorgeous. Love the packaging, love the colours, very easy to apply on the go, very wearable, perfect for spring, summer. These are the time when I get all these formulas will just live in my handbag. This is all I do. Spring and summer, it's all about tinted lip balms. This is a beautiful, nice amount of shine, not as glossy and shiny, much thinner than the Candy Glaze, quite different formulas, but yeah, both beautiful. Now let's talk about another eyeshadow palette that I picked up this month. This is the Tom Ford Tiger Eye Quad. I did review this if you want to see my full thoughts and me doing 2 looks with this palette. You may have got the impression that I hate or don't like this palette. And it's not that I don't like this palette at all. I fully appreciate and understand the beauty of it. I do. My point in my review video was it's just not what I love. It's not what like gives me joy. What gives me joy is like this type of shebang. Pat McGrath shadows, Sydney Grace shadows, Natash Denona shadows. I like a lot of shine and sparkle and light reflection. This is not that. But like I said in my review, I think this is beautiful formulas. I think the formulas are fantastic, particularly the matte, so blendable, such a tiny amount needed to like blend for the rest of your life. Very easy to work with, and it gives you a very, very pretty look, an understated, more subtle, not like this level of shimmer, not this impactful, a subtle, pretty look. And it has kind of grown on me a little. I can definitely appreciate people who love this type of formula. It was funny because I was talking to my friend Tavia, who is Chic Profile Official on Instagram, and she is like the biggest Tom Ford fan. She sent me a picture of all her Tom Ford palettes and was like, I guess we feel differently a bit about this brand. But it's really nice actually that Tavia completely understands why this isn't my cup of tea, and I fully understand why it is hers, because it's just for different tastes. You know, if you like something softer, more refined, more subtle, and more of a sort of luminous, pretty, soft look that's understated, you will love this. Of course, it's very pretty, understated, soft, refined, classy, elegant. Whereas I feel like not much, but I needed a little more from the peachy shade. If this peachy shade was a bit more impactful, a bit more intense, had a bit more pigment to it, and I didn't have to keep layering to get it to show peachy on me, then I would have loved it a lot more. It is pretty, I do appreciate it, it just didn't wow me. But I can understand that for lots of people, this is everything that they're looking for. And don't get me wrong, it works beautifully. The formers are very, very nice, but I just want more, you know? I'm greedy. Next, let's talk about the only, thank goodness, new foundation that I had to contend with this month, because we had enough to contend with last couple of months. This is the Nars, what is this called? The Light Reflecting Foundation from Nars. I purchased this myself. I am on Nars's PR, but I couldn't wait for the PR to arrive. I just wanted to purchase it and try it for myself. This is a beautiful foundation. It's the foundation I have on today. It is definitely more, I would say, more makeup-y than my typical preference when it comes to foundation. Not that it looks heavy or cakey or anything like that, or thick. It's actually a very thin, watery consistency, but it does give a lot of coverage, which I don't know if I was expecting. The tiniest amount of this, like a couple of pumps, it's so surprising, this foundation, a couple of pumps that is a very thin, light, watery consistency, and like my whole face is done, covered, medium to full coverage with the smallest amount very, very quickly, which is very impressive and unusual for such a thin consistency of a foundation. So that in itself is quite surprising. But I definitely, it's not like, you know, today this look is definitely not like no makeup. Like this is like a full beat type of foundation for me, which, don't get me wrong, I certainly have moments when I want to look full beat glam, definitely like I'm wearing makeup. I'm not trying to look like I'm not trying to look, you know, like very, very, very natural, that I'm not wearing foundation. This is like a full beat, full glam type of day for me. I think it's so beautiful. The finish is just gorgeous, so light and luminous and radiant and healthy, and it's just gorgeous. It wears really nicely on me. I wore this to my son's birthday party. It was in a soft play, if you can envision that, with his entire class plus more. So yeah, it was definitely wears certainly more than well enough for my taste. Doesn't sink into my fine lines, my smile lines, which is very impressive. Photographs beautifully, so it is evening safe for me. And I think it's a very, very good foundation. I'm still continuing to work on my foundation rankings video, but spoiler alert, this will definitely be high. I would say this is going to be top 4. I think. That's what I'm saying. I love it. I love the consistency. I love the finish. I love the coverage. I love how little I need to use. I think that the shades and tones of Nars foundations are very, very good and getting better all the time, which I appreciate. And yeah, so far I'm really loving this, and I will report back on exactly my ranking of all these foundations as soon as we can get it all together. Next up, I am wearing a lip kit on my lips today, and it is the one from Natash Denona that I talked about in my Will I Buy It video that I said I wanted to pick up, and it is the shade Calla. So I have the liner, lipstick, and the gloss all on my lipses today. I love this little set. This little combo is just exactly what I was hoping for. Definitely not what I would consider a rose lipstick. I think this is like a peachy beige nude to me. I don't need the gloss. I started off just with the liner and lipstick today and thought I'll just do that. But then because I was talking to you guys and I was talking about this whole kit, I wanted to put the whole lot on so you could see. All three of these products are fantastic. Her liners, we already know her liners are very, very good. Very creamy, very long wearing, very smooth to draw your line, no tugging, no pulling. We already know that, but the shade works very, very nicely. The lipstick, this is a new formula. It's a creamy, I'd say it's a satin finish. It's not high shine like the Candy Glaze from YSL, but it is a shinier formula than like a matte. It's more of that satin, very comfortable, creamy, lovely glow, luminosity to the lips, but such a gorgeous, pretty shade as well. And then her gloss. Now, I have used her glosses before. This is a bit different for me because this doesn't have any glitter, or not that I can see. Yeah, it doesn't have glitter or shimmer particles in it. It's more akin to the Lisa Eldridge glosses, which are like my favorite glosses of all time. It's so comfortable. There's no stickiness. There's none of that. You know, when like you're talking and you get like this stringy bits where the gloss is sticking together between your lips. Doesn't happen. It just gives you a shiny finish. And I also noticed that when you use this on top of a lipstick, it's like it smooths all of the lines on your lips. That's what I noticed this morning. I had the lipstick on. I wore the lipstick yesterday, so I kind of already knew what I liked about it, the colour. I put the gloss over the top and I was like, that's literally just smoothed my lips. I feel like I looked like I had lip filler when I finished with this whole kit. I think it's a beautiful shade. Will definitely be like a go-to nude lip for me in the future. And now for the one product that I would say was a bit of a fail for me this month, and I'm sure you probably know what it's going to be. It's the YSL Lash Clash Mascara. I really wanted to love this. I love YSL as a brand. Of course, I've already talked about their lipsticks, which I do love. I think this packaging is glorious. I really wanted to like this mascara, but I don't love it. It's okay. I can get my lashes looking decent with this mascara, but it takes a lot of effort, a lot of building, a lot of layers, and it's just never quite enough for me. I like big, fat, dramatic lashes, and I can get the lashes that I want much quicker and easier with less work, effort, with lots of other mascaras. So this was definitely a disappointment for me. It just doesn't give me enough, not enough volume, not enough length, not enough drama. And I'm just kind of left with okay, pretty looking lashes, but nothing special. They don't wow me. And lots of my mascaras, I prefer to this one. So this is like an easy pass. I just think there are better mascaras. If you like the type of mascaras that I do, big, fat, dramatic lashes, then there's definitely better out there. The Pat McGrath Dark Star, the Pat McGrath Fetish mascara as well, her first mascara, obviously the Charlotte Tilbury, the love of my life, Push Up Lashes mascara, I prefer Lancôme Monsieur Big to that YSL. There's many that I feel like I would buy again over this one. This is not even top 10 on my list. So there you have it. Those are all of my favourites and one fail from the month of February. Please let me know if you tried any of these products and what your experience was down below. That's always really interesting to hear if you got on differently with these, if you had different shades, different issues, if you've got different skin type. Please let us know how you got on with these products as well, because it's just the more information we have, the better. You know, sharing is caring. I always say it. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.